What's good, fam? Dr. James here doing a review of the Yamaha PSR-E253 keyboard. Now, I've been using this baby for 2 months now. It's a decent keyboard, strengths and weaknesses, had a feel of it, and here are my thoughts, here's my experience with it. I hope it helps you in your choice of the right keyboard for you. Alright, so I'm going to start by giving an overview of this keyboard. Now, if you look at it, you realize that this is a 61 key keyboard, which is more or less, I don't want to say it's the smallest size, because if you get a MIDI keyboard, they get even smaller than this, or if you get these other junior keyboards, they get smaller. But this is kind of the smaller size of a keyboard that if you're learning to play, it's about 61 key. You also see that right in the middle here, you have the LCD screen. So once the keyboard is on, you're going to get a feel of it. You also realize that from the left, on the left and on the right side, there are the two speakers. So when you get this keyboard, you don't need to get an amplifier to be able to hear yourself play. Right when you get it, once it's plugged into power and you switch it on, you will be able to hear yourself. Now I'm just going to go right ahead and switch this keyboard on, and then we'll talk about the other features that this keyboard has. One thing I liked with this keyboard compared to the older Yamaha keyboards was when they brought in the power button, you realize that it's a very gentle button right here that is not coming in, coming out. It's one that you just kind of tap and it comes on. Why this is nice is when you maybe forget to switch your keyboard off, it has a feature where it will turn itself off after some time. The older versions don't really have that. If I'm moving from the left to the right side, you see that there are lots of different buttons. Starting right here, you have the demo, the metronome, and this is basically a station, if I can call it that, which has features if you want to record yourself playing and you want to play that back, but also if you're learning, so it's like a learning station. You can be able to check out this chord dictionary and see the chords, learn the chords, listen to the demo music, and even learn the demo music, which I think is really great. And all of this is over here on the left side. There's this learning station right under song. Right on the far right side, you have these different buttons which you're going to use if you want to select a particular thing. That's why they're numbered, and there's the function and all of that. In the middle, you have the voice. Now, before we go into the voices and the things that this can do, I want you to notice the plugins that you use with this device. Basically, if you get in this keyboard, you need to make sure you have 12 volts of power coming into it. You can either get those 12 volts of power by buying an external adapter, which is what most of us do. If you get this keyboard from Amazon or any other retailer, you will have to buy the adapter separate to the keyboard because they just ship it as a keyboard. Starting from the right, you see there is where the adapter goes in, and as we said, this is a 12-volt adapter. And next to it, you see that there is somewhere for the sustain, which is the sustainer or the pedal. This keyboard, being a basic keyboard, will only take one sustainer. And then the next one is the phone's output. That one is the one which you're going to use when you're connecting this particular keyboard, for example, to an amplifier, or you want to use it going into another system. Even if you're recording on your laptop, if you're connecting to the audio interface and into your laptop, that's the port you're going to use. Now, the one on the end is the aux in. This one is a bit more interesting because I hadn't seen this on a keyboard like this before. So the aux in is really interesting because what this allows you to do is to connect music or to play music through the speakers and play along to the music as you're hearing it. And I think that's really great if you're trying to learn a song or learn particular music. Alright, so we're looking at the bottom of the keyboard, and I was telling you guys about the power source to this. Now, so this is interesting for me because you don't often see this when you have a keyboard that takes batteries. So if you see this panel here and you lift it, you see that you can plug in some 2, 4, 6 AA batteries, and that will be able to power this particular keyboard. While I have it flipped over, I'll also just say a few things here. You can see it's a very basic keyboard. It does have some features, for example, if you get certain keyboard stands, you can screw the keyboard into the stand, and that's why there are these holes over here. And it also has these ridges which help you to balance the keyboard on a particular stand. So after all that technical information, now let's get to switching this baby on and playing it to hear what it sounds like. Just to mention on the sound, one thing that I felt with this particular keyboard, I mean it's low end, but it doesn't necessarily sound like a piano sounds. It's a bit of a sharp sound if you can hear the sound. The voices on this particular keyboard are pretty basic, but I think they are really good value for money. You start by having a bunch of piano sounds. And you just basically can move through them, and there's a bunch of them. They're just slightly different from each other. I don't think they particularly sound as accurate. You also get some guitars if you want to mess around when you're recording. You also get some sort of jazzy guitars. Nothing too special. There's some brass as well. So I mean, the voices are basically what you'd expect from any sort of standard Yamaha keyboard, and I think they've done well to kind of merge that into this basic keyboard. So you can play music and play along to the music. So if I pick up my phone here and then just play this track, you can hear it playing through the speakers, and then you can play along to it. Now, the problem I have with this feature, though I think it's a great feature, is the quality of the sound is not too great. Now, it might be because I'm using an adapter through here, which I don't think so, because I haven't had any problems with this adapter, nor with this cable, and I've been using it with other devices. But what I just wanted to illustrate was the fact that you can play along. But what happens when you play through this is that certain parts of the music are lost. So you might hear something more pronounced. So you're hearing like the lighter tones more so. So it's great if you want to play along to something, but it's not exactly the best quality sound that comes with your play along. Yeah, so while editing, I didn't like my first conclusion about the keyboard. I think you get what you pay for. For $100, it's decent. Would I buy it again? No. And on that note, I'm actually selling my PSR-E253. Alright guys, I hope you liked the video. Do comment, like, subscribe. I'm planning on just reviewing a bunch of keyboards, so let me know if you'd like me to review a keyboard or any instrument. No, not an instrument. Alright guys, have a great day.